Hello and welcome to Sim Radio here on the Sisters in Music Network. It's Monday Music Madness and you're tuned into Mixing It with Nicki Kris. This is Nicki, and in case you don't know anything about me, I'm a singer-songwriter from Raleigh, North Carolina. My show celebrates women and men in the music and entertainment industry, providing an avenue for them to showcase their talents. Our motto, Sisters in Music, together we are stronger. I have multiple guests with me today. My first guest is a music composer, producer, and mixing engineer. He runs his own home studio called VM Studios that he started in 2017. After completing music production from the True School of Music in 2015. Despite facing difficulties and challenges due to being partially blind as a result of some medical issues in childhood and sensorineural hearing loss due to music and loud sounds, he has never given up on his dreams. We are so excited to have him on the show. So let me first introduce my first guest. Please welcome Veer Mulraj. Welcome, Veer. How are you?
Hi, thank you, Nikki, for the amazing intro. I'm doing fine. I hope you're well.
I'm doing fine as well, thank you, and I'm excited to have you with me. But let's quickly also introduce the two other guests that we have that have joined Veer on our show today. So joining Veer in the studio today are a professional Bollywood live performer and playback singer, who is currently, I believe, living in Houston, where she relocated a few years ago, and she has performed in Mumbai, Dallas, and Houston so far, and she is currently available to perform throughout the U.S., Canada, and India. Please join me in welcoming Rashmi Panakar. Hi, Rashmi.
Hi, Nikki. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I hope you are well, too.
I am. Thank you so much for the introduction.
Of course. And finally, I'm excited for us to welcome a wonderful 16-year-old guitarist who has been playing since the age of 3. He holds a Trinity Rock and Pop Guitar Grade 8 certificate and has participated in prestigious events like the Mumbai Guitar Day and Singapore BTDA Awards. His passion lies in classic rock and instrumental rock, and he dreams of attending MI or Berklee College of Music to pursue a career in music. Please welcome Shavin Shrodkar.
Hey guys, how are you?
I'm awesome. Welcome, Shavin.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you for that introduction.
You're quite welcome. Well, I'm really excited to share all of you and the music that you have created together. So let's get right to it. Veer, I'd like to start off by asking you a question. How have you coped with the difficulties and challenges of hearing loss and vision problems and still doing music?
Well, so that's actually a very fascinating thing because during my childhood, when I had, due to medical issues, I had been diagnosed with certain vision issues, and I am partially blind in one eye, and I have a very high power in my right eye. So I couldn't play with the normal toys that how children play with, and I couldn't see the blackboard in during school. So my parents used to give me a lot of musical toys to play with, and if you remember, we used to have those tape recorders where we used to record on blank cassettes. So I used to constantly keep on just recording just anything, just I would just talk something, or I would just try to sing, or I would just try to just record people around me on that tape recorder. And what my parents used to do is that they used to try to play a game with me, and I used to always pick out the correct tape at the same time. I didn't know anything without reading the name, without seeing anything. I'd always pick out the right cassette. And my mom used to play the sitar for 15 years before marriage. My sister's a trained DJ. My grandmother used to sing and play the harmonium. My grandfather used to play any instrument just by ear. And that's how I think I also got into the whole music thing.
I'm sorry that you had to go through these challenges as a child, but I think it's wonderful that obviously, like, your other senses have increased and you've picked up all this musical genetics, if you will, from like your
Yes.
family and all of that. And I think it's wonderful. Are they really supportive with your music career?
Very, very, because when I graduated from HR college in 2012, I had done bachelor's in commerce. After that, my parents wanted me to study further, like you do an MBA, but I wasn't really keen on doing that because I'm not a very bright student, and I was always into the whole music thing. So despite having my hearing loss issues and my doctor telling me to change my profession, I said I cannot do that. So I always try to cope. I take breaks, or like I listen at very low volumes, and I also wear earplugs. I've got custom earplugs made. So if I'm recording any loud sauce, or if I'm going to a loud concert, which I never do, so then I just wear that, and I always try to rely on my gut instinct more than my my hearing, because my high frequencies have been affected because of the loud sounds.
Well, I'm going to say, based upon the music that you shared with me and the music that I have listened to, it certainly has not impacted your ability with your skills, because the music is incredible. It's
Thank
absolutely
you.
incredible.
Because the music always comes from within. Like, I when I'm sitting down to compose, I never have any agenda in mind that I want to create this. I just let it flow naturally, and if I don't like it, I trash it and I start over again.
I like that. I like that. I like that. So what's it been like building out your studio?
Oh, it's actually been a lot of fun, because this used to be my bedroom earlier, and I used to just record people through that. But in 2017, I put up a few acoustic panels, and I got some carpet and all made, and I got all the sofas and everything to, just to dampen the sound in the room. So it's a lot of fun actually working from a space like I have, because I'm not confined to any such kind of, those what do you say, like those anechoic chambers. If you see in a professional studio, it's completely soundproofed and the sound is dead. But in my case, it is almost like a live environment. Like, it's not completely dead, but it's not also completely untreated. So it's somewhere in between. And I think that what most important is about the vibe of the place, and it's not about all about the aesthetics. It's also about the vibe that you get when you are sitting in that space to work.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. Yes, having a good atmosphere is definitely very, very important when you're recording. I like that.
That is true.
Wonderful. All right, well, let's switch gears just a little bit. I'd like to ask Rashmi some questions. Tell us a little bit about the Classical Music Foundation and some of your Western music influences.
So that's a very interesting question, Nikki. So just to give you all a context, I've been learning from my father since childhood. He is also learning Indian classical music and light music, like film songs, or there are a lot of genres when it comes to Indian music. In light music as well, you have the film songs, you have some bhajans or ghazals, genres like that. So he is mainly into film songs and ghazals. So I've been getting a lot of good training from him since childhood, and I recently started learning from another guru. Her name is Padma Shri Padmaja Fernandez. So I met her at a show of hers, and I happened to have this opportunity to sing a couple of songs for her, and she loved it. And I, in the flow of things, I just asked her if I can learn from her, and she accepted me as her student. So yeah, it has been a very good journey. Like learning is just amazing. I'm learning two different things, even if it is in classical music itself. But the way they teach, like my father, he has a different kind of teaching style, and my other guru has a different kind of teaching style. So it's amazing. And apart from that, I've been, since I moved to Houston, I've been trying to understand mixing and mastering my own vocals for my cover songs which I upload on YouTube or Instagram. So there is this very interesting thing which happened. So I used to just do it on my own, like the mixing and mastering, and I chanced upon Veer's Instagram profile. Like I think it was probably in 2020 when I had just started out. And initially, it was very difficult. The learning curve was very steep, like for me. So I just checked with him and asked for some tips and tricks from him, and he just right away gave me like really helpful tips, like what plugins to go for and how to make the whole process as simple as possible. And he just gave me like five different things which I should be looking for, like compressors or reverb or noise cancellation, just 4 to 5 things, and that helped me a lot. And yeah, now I am also experimenting with some kind of Western influence. I have always been singing soulful songs and retro Bollywood songs, and it has always been my genre, like ghazals and soulful songs. But after I started experimenting with my mixing techniques, after I got these tips from Veer, I started singing some different kinds of songs like Kasuri. It's a very famous song, folk studio song, and it requires you to use different kinds of vocal dynamics which are not usually used for your traditional songs. So after
Mhm.
that, I got to experiment with a lot of Western techniques. So that's what I've used in Arzu as well, the song which I did with Veer. And Arzu also taught me a lot of different perspectives when it comes to vocal dynamics and projection of the voice. So yeah, it has been a very interesting journey for me, like bringing the two together, like the Indian classical or traditional form with your Western music. That's that fusion is just amazing. It's there is no limit, like how well you can use your voice when you combine the two together.
And I definitely agree with you because it's a very unique blend. I actually
Mm-hmm.
have several friends that
Mm-hmm.
sing traditional Indian music or use
Mm-hmm.
traditional Indian instruments, and they are always looking for ways to blend
Right.
traditional Indian classical music foundations with like Western music influences. And
Right.
I always love hearing what they come up with. You teed us off very perfectly because I would like to
Mm-hmm.
talk about the song that you did with Veer. Could one of you tell us about the song that the two of you collaborated on? I believe it's called Arzu
Mm-hmm.
Reprise, and if I mispronounced that, I apologize. But what is this about? And then we'll play it for everyone.
Okay, so Arzu is basically it's a love song. It's about basically how the girl is trying to express the love to the guy. So it's a very soft kind of song. Like I did not want to make it too heavy in terms of arrangement because sometimes I feel that the more elements you try to add to it, it doesn't necessarily make songs better. And in fact, it makes them worse, to be honest. When I made Arzu, that time I sent it to Rashmi, and of course, I sent her the rough in my voice, which is not very good. So I sent it to her, and we literally took almost a year to complete that song because since the time in India and Houston is different, so she would practice while I would be sleeping. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I would get messages from her at 4 in the morning that, oh, this is the scratch. Do you like this? How does this sound? And we would just decide the scale, how the whole structure of the song should go, where the harmonies need to be placed, and how she needs to sing certain words. And once that was done, she just sent me the files over on WeTransfer, and I just mixed it over here.
Well, it is absolutely beautiful. and we're going to play it for everyone. So this is Arzu, reprised by Veer Mulraj and Rashmi Panikar. Like I mentioned, it is absolutely beautiful. Rashmi, I absolutely love the tone of your voice. You have such a pure tonal quality to your voice. It is very, very striking. You're welcome. You're welcome. And Veer, I definitely agree. Less is more. Less is definitely more. Yes.
I agree.
Yes. All right. Well, let's loop in our third guest so that we can chat with the awesome Jibin. All right.
Yeah, hi.
Jibin, hello.
Hi.
Why don't you talk to us and tell us a little bit about your journey about becoming a musician / guitarist? Because, 16, you've been playing since you were 3. How is that going?
Yeah, it's actually been a long ride with couple of twists and turns, but I love it. Like I definitely want to be a musician. I've never thought about it twice. So I began playing the guitar at a very young age, of course, as you heard. It started with like my uncle was a music producer and somebody on his birthday gifted him an electric guitar. So I used to keep going to his house, hearing his songs, and that time I didn't know a lot about music, so I just thought everything was great. But once I saw the electric guitar, I was really fascinated about it, and like the guitar was almost as big as me, so I couldn't play it, of course. So my grandmom gifted me like a baby miniature guitar, and that's where we picked off a little bit of classes and stuff. At first, it started off just like a hobby, but like as the years passed, at the age of 9 or 10, I think I started thinking, "Oh wow, I'm really good at this. Maybe I should just pursue this." And I love playing the guitar.
Well, I think that's awesome, and you should definitely continue to do that. You should definitely continue to play and expand your craft. Who would you say are some of your favorite artists or musical influences?
So Slash is my favorite guitarist from Guns N' Roses. Guns N' Roses is also one of my favorite bands, but Slash is one of my favorite guitars because of a completely different reason. I remember first when I began playing the guitar, I used to perform certain Bollywood songs or classical music, and I used to never play any solos, only mainly chords and stuff. So once my dad introduced me to Slash because he heard the song Sweet Child of Mine somewhere, and I just really, really loved that song, and I've played that song so many times that I could wake up in the middle of the night and play the guitar solo. Another role model for me is Paul Gilbert, Guthrie Govan, John Petrucci, and many of the greats right now.
Fantastic, fantastic. And Slash is definitely a good one to emulate. Definitely.
Yeah.
I wish Guns N' Roses was still doing stuff. I mean, I think they may tour every now and then, but I don't think they've come out with like any new music for quite some time. But I think he still plays.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, this is a great place for us to take a short break here from a word from one of our partners in podcasting. And we will be right back on Mixing It with Nicki Kris here on the Sim Radio Network.
Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.
And we're back on Mixing It with Nicki Kris on the Sim Radio Network. And my awesome guests, Veer Mulraj, Rashmi Panikar, and Shivin Shrodakar. I'm so excited to have them here, and we've been learning all these awesome, wonderful things about them. Before the break, we were talking with Shivin about his influences, his guitar idols, and before we get to his collaboration with Veer, I would like to ask the group to chat a bit more about what it's been like to break into the music business. I mean, everyone is multifaceted. I think all of you mix, master, maybe even, do a lot of your own musical instrument playings. I think you each compose music. Do you feel that you have to do it all to be successful? So if we could perhaps take turns answering that question, that would be great. Veer, why don't you kick things off?
Okay, yes, thank you for the amazing question. So, yeah, as I said that I'm a composer, producer, mix engineer. And no, it's not necessarily that we all have to do everything by ourselves. We can be a jack of all trades and we can know about the process of each and everything. But, like if you have somebody who's better than you, then you would rather give it to that person, whether it is composing, whether it is engineering, production, because that person would be able to bring to the table something that you cannot. And that does not mean that you are not good. It's just that you are good in your own field, what you are capable of, and the other person is good at his own field. Now, like for example, Shivin. I've learned little bit of guitar, but I cannot play guitar to save my life. So whenever I need a guitarist, I just call Shivin over. And he's not only such a talented person, but in fact, he thinks of solos or riffs or whatever it is with the guitar that I cannot even imagine. And that actually brings magic to the song. So collaborating with different people who are better than you in their own field is only going to make your song sound better.
I love that answer. That's fantastic. And I agree, 110%. Rashmi, how about you?
So it's a multi-layered answer for me. There are different scenarios. Absolutely, I agree with Veer that you should, stick to what you're good at and try to collaborate with people who are good at their own job, right? Although it depends. Like if you are asking me artistically, I would rather go for just singing and completely depend on Veer or any music composer to do his or her job and depend on an artist who is good with the guitars or the arrangement. Although in scenarios like building your own profile on Instagram, it's a bit expensive to go with different artists for every reel you post. So in that scenario, knowing a bit of everything helps. If I'm supposed to record like 5 songs for the month, which I'm supposed to upload on Instagram, I can't wait. Or, when it comes to cover songs, for example. For cover songs, it's better to, know a bit of mixing, know a bit of programming, know a bit of playing the guitar, and do your own vocals and all of that. But when it comes to originals, you definitely have to go to the experts. So it's a combination of both, I would say. And when it comes to artistic liberty, I would definitely go for the experts.
Yeah, I think I'm actually more like you as well. I do actually have a home studio. I mean, not an expert, but I know enough to get by, and I know enough to
Right.
actually mix things or record things for people remotely and send it to them and have it at least sound somewhat to send it off.
Right.
But I would definitely prefer. I play piano, but I'm not very good. I don't
Okay.
play guitar. Tried to learn it once. It was
Okay.
like, no, that's okay. I'm probably more like you, where I'd rather just lend my voice and my songwriting talents and leave all the music work to
Right.
everybody else.
Shivin,
So
Shivin will be your savior for the guitar.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Shavin
for
will be
sure.
my savior. Yes. All right. Well, Shavin, I'm going to ask you to answer the same question because, obviously I think guitar is your primary instrument, but I'm assuming that you also do other things as well. So do you feel you have to do it all to be successful?
Not necessarily. Like if you have the right bunch of people at the right time and you release music at the right time, everything can come together to make a beautiful masterpiece. Like for example, this song that I created with Veer sir, I didn't even know how it was going to happen because I remember my guitar teacher actually introduced me to Veer sir a long time
Please
ago.
don't
So
call
I
me
think-
sir.
Okay, so my guitar teacher actually introduced me to Veer a long time ago, and I think when I wrote this song, I must have been like 12 or 13 years old.
Oh.
So like now that I reflect back on time, I realize the different ways I could have improved my skill or changed a single part of the song to make it sound better. But I think at that time, I think I did the best I could, and now just looking at the journey differently, yeah. So I think certain skills could help you at certain amount of time, but like you should just use the best of your abilities.
Well said. Well, and that's a perfect tee up to the song that you are on. So let's chat about Shadow of My Life. So did I hear you say that this is something that you composed when you were younger, or is this a songwriting collaboration between you and Veer?
No, so I played the guitar solo for this song. I remember Veer sir contacted me. The entire song was almost done with him and the other singers. But I remember during the composition of the song, he needed a guitar solo, and I think we took a lot of takes because this was in the middle of lockdown. First, I couldn't figure out how to contact him because of the pandemic, how to come to his house and all that. So yeah, it was an entire different experience.
But a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Veer, is there anything that you want to add about Shadow of My Life?
Yeah, so, unfortunately, the singer AB Tunes, that is Ashni, she couldn't be present because she's a little bit busy in some other commitments. But when the song had got done, that time I had approached Ashni to sing the song and I wanted a guitarist. So, obviously, that time during COVID, none of us had taken our vaccine shots. So he couldn't come to the studio to play the guitar. So we literally recorded the guitar on Zoom. We recorded the guitar on Zoom and he was taking, and he said, no, this is not right, that is not. We literally almost took 50 to 60 takes of a 30-second solo and took 2 hours to record it. But I have had so much of fun. So I didn't stump his creativity. I told him, you do what you want to do. I just gave him the chords of the song. That is it. I told him, you want to use your pedal, you want to use the software amplifier, the whatever you want to use, you do, and you just play whatever you want. So I didn't give him any kind of a set piece. And I just told him that you just go with the flow, and that is exactly what he did.
It is exactly what he did, and I loved it. So let's play this for everyone. And I also love the vocalist on this too. This is A Shadow of My Life by Veer Mulraj, featuring AB Tunes and Shivan Shrodkar.
Sometimes I wonder how it would be if you were around, just looking at me like an angel with a gaze so profound. I just look at you as if you were a gift to my life, 'cause I know how I'd be with you by my side. You are the shadow of my life. You are the shadow. My pillow, just begging for you to stay, 'cause I know how it feels to have a broken heart. But if you are by my side, no one can break me apart. You are the shadow of my life. You are the shadow.
Absolutely awesome. All three of the individuals on this, Veer, you as a producer, mixing engineer, and even composer, AB Tunes, I love her voice. And Shivan, you guys are also very, very talented, and it's a very well-crafted song. Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
On both the songs, I wrote the lyrics as well.
You are just like full of surprises, Veer. I love it. Well,
thank you.
You're quite welcome. Before we run out of time, let's see, is there anything else that you would like to share with our listeners? Any last comments? Maybe where they can find you on social media? I think all three of you are prevalent on social media. Why don't we start with each of you, and you can go through and say last words and maybe where they can find out more about you. So, Veer, why don't you start?
Yes, thank you so much. I think that this interview has been a lot of fun, and I think that I was the most excited for this one because I was only waiting for the 10th so that I could just like get on with this, the excitement. So, yeah, I think that you guys can find me on Instagram on my handle at the rate Veer Mulraj, VEERMULRAJ. Alternatively, you can also find me on my studio page at the rate VM dot studios, and you put a numerical 1. So it's VM dot studios numerical 1. That's my Instagram studio page. If you want to collaborate on any music, if you have any kind of jingle, I can do like anything that you want. And you can also find me on YouTube. That is Veer Mulraj. That's my channel name. And also, yeah, for all the people who are listening, please protect your hearing and do not listen to too much of loud sounds, or you're going to end up like me and get tinnitus.
That's a good message. All right, Rashmi, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you and any last words that you would like to share?
Sure, Nikki. Thank you so much, first of all. As we said, we had a great time on the interview, and we are looking forward to creating more content, more songs. I'm absolutely looking forward to collaborating with Veer and Shivan soon, and we are actually working on a song, but we can't really talk a lot about the song yet. Yeah, so I'm there on Facebook, Instagram, on YouTube, and I have my website as well. You all can just Google my name, Rashmi Panikar, RASHMI PANIKAR, and you'll find all my performance videos, my cover songs, my originals, and I'm also there on Spotify, and I think Veer is also there on Spotify. And you all can, just go to our profiles and shoot us some comments or some messages. And I also teach. I'm a vocal coach as well. So yeah, if you all are interested, definitely send me a message on Instagram or on my website. Looking forward to hearing from you all. And thank you so much for this opportunity, Nikki. Really grateful. And yep, thank you. We had a great time.
You're quite welcome. All right, Shivan. Last but not least, tell us about where they can find you on social media and any last words that you would like to share.
So you can find me under Shivan_Shirodkar on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook. And the last thing I'd like to say to everybody is that there may be times that you feel like quitting music because maybe you're not getting the right results, or the timing is not clicking, or maybe other fields may give you better success. But if you just put your heart and soul into it, anything is possible.
I love that. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. And I would like to thank each of you, my wonderful guests, Veer Mulraj, Rashmi Panikar, and Shivan Shirodkar, for taking the time to chat with me today. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Mixing It. On behalf of all of us here at Sim Radio, this is Nicki Kris. Until next time, keep on mixing it.